October 2022, Henry Cavill makes a cameo at the end of Black Adam as Superman, leading all to believe he was slated to return in the highly anticipated Man of Steel 2.
Black Adam. We should talk.
November 2022, James Gunn was just announced as the new head of DC Studios. Circulation immediately began to swirl on what this meant for the current state of Superman and Henry Cavill.
The company announcing moments ago that director James Gunn and producer Peter Safran will become the co-heads of DC Studios. And
December 2022, it was announced Henry Cavill would not be returning as Superman. Fans immediately began to protest, voicing their displeasure at the decision to replace their Superman. But James Gunn had a different vision. He announced that Superman would be the first movie in the new DCU. Shortly after, he cast David Cornsweet as the titular character. As production began and photos of the new Superman suit began to leak, controversy once again struck as fans began to voice their displeasure for the quality of the suit and the different look from Henry Cavill's version of the character. Christmas came early as it is now December 19th, 2024, and James Gunn has given us our first look at the trailer for the new Superman movie. This trailer broke earlier this morning. I'm Philip Barron, and you're watching Cinephile as we review the first trailer for Superman in theaters July 11th, 2025. Our first look at Superman is after he has crashed in the snow somewhere in the Arctic. He's down. He's hurt. He's wheezing. How did he get here? Obviously, something big has happened to our hero to be down for the count in the opening moments of the trailer. We then go to scenes of a moppy-headed Clark. My first impression was a lot like Michael Scott when he said, I don't like that. But I think that it works for Clark in this new iteration. It adds to the separation between who Clark and Superman is. Clark enters the Daily Planet building. I don't think anyone is going to notice that these are the same guy. They genuinely do look differently. I actually like this look for Clark. Back to Superman. He's still down. He's still wheezing. And now we see him spitting blood and a cut on his lip. It's got me wondering who or what has done this to Superman. We then see James Gunn's name in familiar-looking font. It resembles the font used on Superman the movie. As we cut to inside the Daily Planet, we get our first look at Lois inside the Daily Planet. She's working as the mop-headed Clark comes in. She looks over her shoulder at him, and he seems to look up as if he's lost. Next, we flash to the Kent farm and a loving embrace between Jonathan and Clark. The electric guitar score of the new music fused with John Williams' elements gives me goosebumps. It's very Top Gun-ish. We're back to a beaten and broken Superman, laying helpless in the snow. He's bruised and badly hurt. He whistles and we see something coming in the distance. It's powerful enough that the snow is being thrown up into the air by its presence as it quickly approaches Superman. Flash to the scene of the letters "It Begins" as the hauntingly beautiful rock version of the Superman theme plays slowly in the background. It's Crypto. Okay, I'm not a Crypto fan. I never have been. I was not excited when I heard he was in this movie. But here he is. He's cute, and he has a red cape. Superman says weekly, Crypto, take me home, as he extends the end of his cape to the dog. Crypto takes the cape in his mouth and begins to move our hero.
Crypto. Home. Take me home.
We are immediately transformed into a slow motion scene of some sort of an explosion of materials with a little girl in the way. Superman flies in and shields the girl from harm. This is a cool shot, as we tend to think of Superman as so powerful fighting off beings like Doomsday or a space armada. But this shows the simplicity of his strength, literally saving a little girl from peril using his powers in the simplest and modest of ways. We then get our first look at Lex Luthor and Luthor Corps. Lex is young and powerful, and Holt embodies the character in this scene. We then see Luthor with a gun, and then Superman in some sort of a glass enclosure. He punches his way out of it. Next, we see some sort of a turmoil with people running and explosions and a small boy hosting a flag in the midst of the chaos. The little boy is clinging to the pole and he's silently praying for Superman's help. This scene gave me chills. And again, I think it embodies the side of Superman we don't consider very easily. We get caught up in the big essence of his powers, but the little man, a little boy calling for help.
Superman.
We next go to a scene with Superman walking through a yelling crowd as a man throws a can at Superman's head from behind. He enters a building as the crowd is yelling and screaming, and obviously they're not happy with Superman. Is there a possibility that he's done something or they misunderstand him? Why are these people mad? I can't wait to find the answer to that. Next, we get our first look at Guy, Gardner, and Hot Girl with some sort of a Godzilla monster blowing flames out of his mouth, encapsulating what I assume is Superman. We move to a really cool night shot of Lois and Superman inside of a building with something big occurring outside. It's green, it's purple, it gives me shades of Brainiac. We see scenes of Lois and Clark kissing, and then Superman holding the remains of what looks like a Tesla robot. I'm assuming this is Kelex from the Fortress of Solitude, as we then get our first look at the Fortress of Solitude. A really old-looking, wrinkly guy who I'm assuming is Metamorpho, and a building falling are our next shots. More scenes of Luthor, that little boy, and Superman pushing maybe a building. We then see Crypto dragging Superman through the snow. Someone is ominously punching through a wall. Then we see Superman and this man fighting in a baseball field. I'm going to call it, I think it's Ultraman. Then we get our first look at Mr. Terrific. Really? Mr. Terrific? I don't know. And he's being attacked by what looks like a group of soldiers. Next is Superman holding Lois and ascending, and then fire, and then Superman ascending into the sky very quickly. It goes right along with the tagline of this movie, Look Up. Finally, we flash back to the scene of Lois and Superman back in that building at night, looking out the windows of something going on, that purple and green, whatever it is outside. Lois hugs Superman as July 11th appears on the screen, and we end with the DC Studios logo. Folks, I'm stoked about this movie. I think it is going to be phenomenal. I can't wait to see what James Gunn has in store, and this has a really, really, really big feel to it. I know a lot of people are still really upset that Henry Cavill is not Superman, and if I'm being honest, I hated Man of Steel. I left the theater very angry about that movie. It just didn't feel like my Superman. I loved Batman vs. Superman, and I was really looking forward to a Man of Steel 2 and getting Henry Cavill some sort of a redemption script, something that he could really sink his teeth into. Alas, that idea is gone. Henry Cavill is no longer our Superman. This is our Superman. I love the colors on the suit. I'm so glad the bright and vibrant blue and reds are back. They've been so muted and toned down ever since Superman Returns, leading into Man of Steel and the whole Snyderverse. And then we got the Superman and Lois TV show. And again, the suit was just really, really dark. Really happy to see these vibrant colors back. I cannot wait for July 11th. I tell you, I'm going to be the first person in line, and I'll be the first person I can to try to get a review out to let you know how the movie is. All in all, this trailer has me really excited, and I can't wait to see what's next for our hero, Superman, in Superman Legacy, flying into theaters July 11th, 2025. Don't forget, look up. If you enjoyed this video, I would like it if you would like, share, follow, subscribe, and until next time, make it a great day.